Jai Hind everyone. Today I Swapnil Singh is going to tell you about the missile systems in India. So this is going to be told in a very detailed manner, starting right from the basics of the technologies used in missiles and what actually are the missiles there with India and what types of categories are there when it comes to the missiles. So let us start the discussion with a very brief introduction about the missiles itself. People have this sort of jeopardized ideology that missiles are the weapons. No, my friends. Missile is just a sort of a transport vehicle that helps your payload or warhead to impose it from one place to another, such as from India to China, we can use a missile to attack it, right? Just like we have recently seen the example of the BrahMos missile that you can say was misfired from India and it reached Pakistan, traveling a range of up to 124 kilometers, whom the Pakistan radar systems could not track, right? So that was the sort of missile technology, missiles that we have that can reach from one place to other, and supposedly it didn't carry any sort of payload, otherwise it could impose maximum damage to the Pakistani territory. So now these are the missiles basically, and now let us say that missiles are basically divided into two parts. These parts can be tactical missiles or the strategic missiles. Both have their own advantages and disadvantages, but India uses both of them on its own situations, on its own credibility, and in that sense it is a sort of productive sort of a you can say missiles that India has. In that concept, India has more number of tactical missiles because tactical missiles have a range of less than 1000 kilometers, and this is because India has its own you can say sort of conflicts with its neighboring countries, specifically China and Pakistan, right? So it does not need to have much missiles of greater you can say range, because we need not have conflict with other nations of such as European countries or even other countries which are not our neighboring countries, right? So in that sense we need more number of tactical missiles, right? So in that sense, as I have already told, it has a range of less than 1000 kilometers. Further, it flies at a height of a tree. They are called tree missiles because they don't fly above the atmosphere. They fly below the atmosphere. They can, in addition to that, they use the oxygen from atmosphere itself, because they don't go into the space, so they need not carry any other specific sort of a oxygen cylinder with them. So in that sense, they use the jet engine, because jet engine is capable of using the oxygen from its surroundings, from its atmosphere. So tactical missiles have jet engines imposed in them, and further they don't divide into parts while moving from one place to another to actually attack an enemy location. In that sense, now let us discuss about the tactical missiles. See, tactical missiles are used for imposing a sort of temporary or tactical damage. For example, in the amidst ongoing Ukraine crisis, Russia is invading Ukraine from different parts, but before invading with the use of its infantry, it is using its cruise missiles, which are tactical missiles, to impose strategically located locations the tactical damage on its key locations, such as its you can say various air defense systems or army locations of forces where they are imposed. And then the army can pierce deep into the conflict zones and into the cities. So that is the use of tactical missiles. They impose sort of a temporary damage for a tactical purpose. In that sense, these missiles are called tactical missiles with a range of less than 1000 kilometers. And further, they are not able to be tracked by the you can say radar systems, because they don't fly at a height where the radars can actually track them. So in that category we have the BrahMos missiles, which we will talk further in the discussion later. Now let us talk about the strategic missiles. See friends, strategic missiles have a range of greater than 1000 kilometers up to a range of even 5000 kilometers that can come into the category of even intercontinental ballistic missiles. So what does it mean, intercontinental? It can even range from reach from one continent to another continent. That is the supposedly range of a strategic missile. And further, these missiles actually go from one place to another, firstly by going into the space and then targeting its location, and there it will go and damage the supposedly the enemy location. But since it goes into the space, it uses the oxygen from within itself. It carries a specific oxygen cylinder with it. So these actually carry the rocket engine, because rocket engine carries its own sort of fuel and oxygen. In that sense, every fuel needs oxygen to burn, otherwise it won't burn and it won't fly. In that sense, it uses the rocket engine. And further, as I have told, it has a height of greater than those at which the tactical missiles fly. And further, it divides into various parts. For example, the Agni 5 missile, which is our intercontinental ballistic missiles of a range of 5,000 kilometers, has you can say it can carry up to 10 payloads. It can drop 10 payloads at 10 different locations. But at the same time, tactical missiles such as BrahMos have just one single payload, so they can go and deliver the warhead at one specific location only. So that is the sort of, you can say, advantages and disadvantages of these two types of categories of missiles. And now let us talk about the missiles that India actually has. So in addition, now we are going to talk about the first example which I would like to talk about is the anti-tank guided missile, for example. See, Nag is a type of anti-tank guided missile which has a range of 20 kilometers. It is fired to impose maximum damage on a tank, basically. And another version of Nag missile is the Heli-Nag. Heli-Nag is the helicopter variant of the Nag. Basically, it can be attacked and launched from a helicopter. And also we have standoff anti-tank guided missile and man-portable anti-tank guided missile. Evident from its name, it can be fired with the help from a man, which can actually which can be portable by a man on its shoulder. Then we would like to talk about various other missiles such as surface to air missiles. So in the surface to air missile, we have the Akash missiles that we actually know that have a range of up to 25 kilometers. But the newer versions of the newer generation of the Akash missiles are recently going to be tested in the July this year, and that will enhance the of course the range of these missiles, because now we have a sort of, you can say, we are the permanent member of the MTCR, Missile Technology Control Regime. So in that sense, we can have a range of greater than 300 kilometers. So supposedly we will also increase the range of Akash missiles even. And thereafter we would like to talk about basically the air-to-air missiles. In that category, we have the Astra missile that has a range of 100 kilometers, and it is typically called as beyond visual range and air-to-air missile. So DRDO is thinking of actually use it with the help with of course the LCA Tejas fighter jets. So with the help of fighter jets, we can actually increase its range even. How so? Because fighter jets are actually also like a missile. They can transport your missiles from one place to another. So in a hypothetical manner, they can actually increase your range. In that sense, it will also increase the further capacity or the range of the missiles, particularly the as I have told, these Astra missile, the beyond visual range anti-air-to-air missile. Then we have you can say air-to-ground missiles. In that category, we have the Rudram missile. What is Rudram missile? We all know that there are radar systems, communication systems of the enemy locations. We need to destroy them to get at a very strategic location, to get an advantageous position in a battle or a conflict with an enemy. So in that sense, we need to have newer generation anti-radiation missiles, and in that category only we have the Rudram missile, which has a range of 200 kilometers. It is used for destroying the key locations of the enemy, such as its communication radars and other air defense systems. So in that sense, it was recently tested by the Sukhoi Mk-30 MKI fighter jet, and in the September last year, right? So in that category only, now we will also like to talk about our very specific BrahMos missile. So it has a range of currently 290 kilometers. It is a supersonic missile that it has a speed of up to 2 to 3 Mach. Right. So in that sense, it is a tactical missile. Firstly, we have known about it, and we have also exported it to Philippines. We have actually tendered these export of BrahMos missiles to Philippines up to with a, you can say, trade of up to $375 million. And further, we are also working upon increasing its range up to 800 kilometers, and also working upon increasing its speed of that it can be a hypersonic variant. So with the coming of the cryogenic engine and the recently tested hypersonic technology demonstrated vehicle in the last year, we have in the 2020 September 2020 we had demonstrated our hypersonic technology also. So DRDO is working on a mission mode to develop BrahMos 2 missile, that is the second version, that will be hypersonic variant and up to a range of 800 kilometers, my friends, right? So in that sense, now let us talk about these strategic missiles. In terms of strategic missiles, we have the Agni series of missiles. What are these? The Agni 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and Agni Prime. So in the most recent past, we have successfully tested Agni Prime missile and Agni 5 missile. Agni Prime missile has a range of 2000 kilometers, which can carry more number of payload than its previous versions. But Agni 5 is the latest missile we have. It is the our only contender for intercontinental ballistic missiles, of which China also fears, because it has a range of 5000 kilometers. It can carry a payload of up to 10 times, right? So how are these strategic missiles very important? Because they actually carry, you can say, such instruments which actually try to, you can say, bluff the air defense systems. And in that sense, I must say that it can escort your actual payload to reach your strategic locations and impose maximum damage of a permanent nature, such as you would have seen and you have known about the atomic bombings in Hiroshima, Nagasaki. That was a sort of strategic damage, but it was not a missile. It was just the atomic bomb that was deployed by you can say bomber planes of USA. So now that we have ballistic missiles, they can carry way more payloads and impose maximum damage of permanent category. So these are the sorts of missiles that we actually have, and I hope you would have got to know a lot about it. Thanks a lot.